Hi YouTube, welcome to Pagan Perspective. This is Megan, aka Spiritory, and today is Friday. Hey everybody, so today is Friday and we are talking about anger issues and paganism and how we can use paganism to help with that, basically. At least that's what I'm getting out of that and sort of where I'm going with it, mainly because I actually have been dealing with something personally very similar. I mean, different obviously, but having a situation in which I was very angry and it was very difficult. I was completely backed into a corner and it made me very angry. And so how do we work on those issues, right? And really, how do we work on any mental health issues? So I did a big video for Pagan Perspective on mental health and paganism and stuff. And so I went into a lot of stuff with mental health, but specifically around anger issues. I thought I would sort of address this a little bit and come from my own pagan perspective with it, come a little personally. So I had a situation happen in which I'm being forced to do something at my job that I don't feel is safe. And so, that has caused a lot of anger in me, among other feelings, of course. And so how do obviously there's the professional way of dealing with something, right? So we all have our jobs and we all deal with things in professional ways and we're that person, right? When we need to be. However, then there's that other side of when we go home and we still have all these emotions, how do we deal with them? And what do we do with them? And so one of the things that I have been working on a lot, besides my coping skills, one thing is I'm a DBT therapist, so that's dialectical behavioral therapy, among other things, but it's one of my specialties. And so that deals a lot with a concept called radical acceptance. And radical acceptance is basically accepting reality. It is what it is in this moment. Doesn't mean you can't change it in the future. It just means that in order to move toward change, you need to accept where you are right now in the present in order to take the next step. And that can be really hard sometimes, just accepting it, like fully accepting it with your being. So I've been doing a lot of radical acceptance work, trying to get myself to that place. And the other part of it is dealing with that bubbled up anger that, that just, it sits like a rock in your stomach, and so that one is so hard. Oftentimes I will use distraction for myself. Other times I will meditate. One thing that I find for me really helps is not having to interact with other people, because I find that I have a very short fuse when I'm angry. That's kind of to be expected, right? But I have a very short fuse, and it's very difficult for me to kind of check myself, and not react poorly to people around me. And so, one of the things I know when I'm super angry, I will ask for space. I'll say, what, I need some space right now. I need 30 minutes, I need a half an hour, or I will let you know, or something like, I will let you know when I'm good to talk again. I just need my space, and that can be really useful, because when you communicate that, in a respectful way, saying, what, it's not you, I need my space. It allows the other person to, not have to engage when you might be in a super unproductive place. I know that I'm not going to be productive when I'm super angry like that. And so I need to take time to recenter myself and get back to a more productive place. And no matter who comes in at that point to try and talk to me or whatever they say, they could, it could be saying the nicest thing in the world and it's not going to matter because of how upset I am. And so, by giving that space, giving that time away from that social interaction, that really can make a difference. So that's one of my suggestions. I really do recommend DBT work. And you know, DBT is one of those things where it's always better if it comes from a DBT therapist and a skills training. However, nothing is stopping you from getting the information online. There's a lot of it. You can buy the books on Amazon. And the skills training in particular. Therapy is a little different. You can't really do that. But learning the skills, learning the basics are really, really quite useful. And they can really help. The other thing is reaching out and looking for any support groups that you might have in your area, and also just talking with a therapist. So, you know, most health insurance companies, I won't say all, but most do include mental health. Maybe not a lot of it, but some. So, you know, that's something that you can definitely look into, and I just encourage you to do as much of that as you can to get yourself to a good place. But yeah, take some time, disengage from people for a little while. You know, take, you know, if you need 15, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, you know, a few hours, you know, just sort of disengage until you get your body rhythms down. Notice what's going on in your body. Get yourself to a good place. You know, eat something, drink something, take a shower, things like that. Get your body back into rhythm. Super important. So that's it for today, guys. Hopefully that kind of answered the question. I've been kind of on the go, so I wasn't able to watch any of the other videos. But I wish you all well, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And as always, blessed be and aloha.